Alright, good morning, 5th grade. Today is day 39 of our video lessons. I hope you're all doing well. We have quite a bit of stuff to get through today, so let's get started. But I do want to remind you all that we are starting to use Seesaw. And you do have an assignment for math and an assignment for science in there as well. If you have any trouble logging in, please let me know and I can give you your login information, okay? But I'll show you what you need to do later on in the video. So this is your warm-up. Go ahead and pause the video and get started. Alright, so hopefully you were able to answer these questions. I don't think they should not have been too difficult. Let's go ahead and get started. So we have 1/10 times 2. 2 does not have a denominator, it's a whole number, so I can go ahead and just multiply that by my 1. 1 times 2, that is 2. 2/10 is my answer, and that's it. Alright, let's go on to number 2. I have 1/20 times 1/2. I can go ahead and subtract multiply the numerators. So I have 20 times 2. My answer is 1/40, and that's it. Next up, I have 2/4 times 1. So I can just go ahead and multiply 2 times 1/4. My answer is 2/4. Lastly, I have 4/10 times 1/100. That is 4 times 1/10 times 100. So I have 4 over, and remember, how do we multiply ones and zeros? I cover up my zeros. I have 1 times 1, that's 1, and then I add 3. So my answer is 4/100. Alright, and that's it. So again, hopefully they were not too difficult. We have been doing this for quite a while. So hopefully they were not challenging. So today we're going to be learning on how to multiply decimals, okay? We're going to learn how to multiply decimals. Okay. So we're still using our old packet, this one, okay? We're still using that one. We're doing lesson 17. Page 269, and then also page 270. Okay, what you're gonna do is when you finish it, you're gonna complete it, and then you're gonna upload it to Seesaw. Okay. All right. But before we can do this, we're gonna have to know how to switch up decimals to fractions and fractions to decimals. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So we have a fraction, and then we have decimals. Let's start off with an easy one, okay? Let's say that I have a fraction of 1/10. What is 1/10 in decimal form? Well, 1/10 in decimal form is 0.1. Now, how do I know it's 0.1? Because remember our place value chart. This is in my ones place. This is in my 10th place. 1 is in my 10th place, so then it is 1/10. Okay? Now, let us do another example. Let's say that I have 2/10. If I have 2/10, well, then in decimal form, that'll be 0.2. Now again, how do I know these two are correct? Well, because my zero's in my ones place, and this is my 10th place, remember? I have my ones, and then I have my tens, and then I have my hundreds, and then I have my thousands, and so on. Okay, but in this case, I only have 10, so I have 0.2. All right, next one. What if I have 1/100? How would that look like in decimal form? Well, I know I have a 0 in my ones place, right? This is my 10th place. I don't have anything in my 10th place. I have a 1 in my 100th place. So these two are equal. 1 over 100 in decimal is 0.01. Okay? How do I know that? Because I have a 0 in my ones, a 0 in my 10th, and then I have a 1 in my hundredths. Okay? Now what if I were to do this one? 12 over 100. How would that look like? Well, again, remember, I don't have anything in my ones. But then, because it is in my hundredths place, that means I have to stop. My last digit has to stop at my hundredth, right? So I have 0.12. Now, you might be thinking, well, what if I do it like this, Mr. Giannis? 0.012. Well, no, because now your last digit ends in what place value? In the thousandths place value, right? I have my ones, tens, hundred, thousands, but it is not thousands, it is 100, all right? Okay. Now, let's do some more challenging ones, okay? I'm gonna erase this. I'm gonna erase that. Okay. Now, what if I have now 1.6? How would that look like? I'm sorry. What if I had a decimal that said 1 over 6/10? Ooh, that was a tricky one, right? So how can I do that as a decimal form? Well, I have 1. This is my ones place now. I have 1. My decimal will be 0.6. 1.6. Okay. Now let's go the opposite way. Now let's say that I have a decimal first. I have 1.9. How would that look like as a fraction? Well, I have 1 whole. This 9 is in my 10th place value, so then I have 9/10, right? Now let's say that I had 2.48. Well, 2 is my whole number, and my last digit ends in my 100th place. This 8 is in my 100th place. This is my decimal, so this is like my fraction right here. So I have 48 hundredths. How do I know it's hundredths? Because my last digit, 8, is in my 100th place, right? I have my ones, 10th, and then 100th. Now let's go ahead and do one final one. Let's say that I had 3 wholes and 1/10. How does that look like as a decimal? Well, I have 3 wholes, 1/10. That means I can only have 1 in my 10th place value. So 3, 1 over 10 is the same as 3.1. Okay? And that's it. So now let's go ahead and do a couple of problems. Now, I know I'm moving the camera a lot, everybody. That is because I can't find my phone stand, so I'm having to use my hand, my arm. All right. Now let's go ahead and take a look at. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the example one. They have 1 over 10 times 1 over 10. Well, that one's easy. That's just 1 times 1 over 10 times 10, and that is 1 over 100. Now they have all these extra grids, these blocks, right? These squares. Don't worry about those right now. Just look at your actual problem and then multiply those, okay? All right, everybody, so here's what you're gonna do. Pay attention, okay? If you're tired, go take a nap, come back. If you're hungry, go eat and come back. But I need you to stay focused for these next few minutes, okay? All right, so This one's kind of easy because it's pretty much like our warm-up, right? It's what we have been doing. I have 6 times 2 and then 10 times 10. 6 times 2, that is 12. 10 times 10, that is 100. So my answer is 12 over 100. Easy, right? That's just like our warm-ups. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this one right here. Now again, I am sorry that I'm moving it a lot. I will try and find, or I'll just buy another camera stand. All right, so I have 1 over 10 times 1.6. Now, here's what I like to do. And for now, here's how you should do it as well. Change your decimal, everybody, into a fraction. You're gonna change your decimal into a fraction. So, I have 1/10. And then how does 1.6 look like as a fraction? 1 and 6/10, right? Now remember what I said last time when we were multiplying these fractions? Change your mixed number, because this is a mixed number, as an improper fraction. And how do we do that? The horseshoe method, right? 10 times 1, that is 10. And then 10 plus 6, that is 16. So my answer is 16 over 10. And then I bring the rest of this thing down. I have 1 over 10. So my answer is 1 times 16 over 10 times 10. So that is 16th hundredths. All right, and that's my final answer. All right, so what did I do? I found out my decimal. I changed my decimal into a mixed number, into a fraction. That is 1 whole and 6/10. And then I changed this mixed number into an improper fraction, that is 16 over 10. I brought my other fraction down, and now I have something that is easy. Now I have 1 times 16 over 10 times 10. And then I got 16 over 100, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and finish up these 2 pages, all right? And upload them to Seesaw, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at what you need to do. So if you go to my Seesaw page, you go to activities, you have 2 activities you need to do. This one, that's the page that we were working on in the packet. And then the bottom one, you're gonna start reading about layers of the earth, okay? Go ahead and go to Seesaw and read the instructions. I repeated again on what you need to do, but you're gonna read 2 pages here, and then you're gonna answer the questions at the end, and then go ahead and watch this video. I think it's very helpful, all right? But that's it, everybody. Have a great day.